Hey guys, welcome back. I have been lazy and not posted content, but here we go. I've got a FS110. This is from somebody local who also watches the channel. He's had this for quite some time. This thing dropped a valve, did some damage. He's acquired some parts over time and then just brought me a big old box of stuff and said, man, put it back together for me, would you? So anyway, sit tight and I'm gonna walk you through what we've done so far and where we're going. Okay, I've got a new piston installed. Got the bearings all cleaned up. They're nice and smooth and re-oiled. So you'll notice there's a couple of arrows and there's an indentation or a protrusion there in the casting on either side. So you want to line those up and then have piston at top dead center. All right, and then you can install the push rods, and I've just got these snug down. I have not gapped them yet, just enough so it stays put. The clamshell on this, I've got some Honda Bond HT on here. The stuff's, when it sets up, it's harder than woodpecker lips. I really like this stuff. Durco's great, but I either use this or the Permatex Ultra Black. I've had good long-term results personally with those. And then we've also got to get this surface cleaned up and sealed. It's a mess right now, but nothing a little bit of degreaser and some loving won't do. So sit tight and let's get this thing buttoned up. All right, both of these had a little time to cure. I got a little heavy-handed with that, but this side's actually a little bit better. There's divot in a groove on this. You know, this side you're able to have more access to it. Use just as much as you need. I mean, there's a thin coat on there. You know, this is a machine surface, so there's not that many imperfections. You know, this surface is cast, so, you know, you may have a few more imperfections, but regardless, you know, just take it easy with that, because whatever squishes out on the outside, just imagine it's going to squish out on the inside. You'll have bits of RTV floating around the engine. All right, valve lash is set. Everything's all buttoned up. Just make sure when you tighten down the 4 bolts that hold down the pan, that your seals are nice and flush with this surface on both sides before you snug it down, okay? Because you don't want your seal to be kind of offset. It'll wear out too soon. It has to be even with the crankshaft and set in there all the way so you got a good seal and a long lasting. I always oil them just to, it makes them easier to slide on and gives just a little something for startup. I think the rest of the stuff's easy peasy. We're just gonna put the flywheel back on, coil, clutch, intake and carb, and then gas tank and stuff. So sit tight, we'll have this thing buttoned up in no time. All right, while it's back together, I figure I would take just a quick minute and show you how to adjust your valves. You'll need one of these. This is, I don't know, 1/10 of a millimeter. I have no idea. This is a Stihl tool. If you just buy the cork gasket, it comes with one of these. And it's so much easier because if you look, trying to use a regular feeler gauge in that, you have to get in between those two, I guess, stabilizers or stops for the top of the valve. So it's got to be able to fit in there. So what you want to do is bring the piston, let me rotate the engine going down, back the other way. There we are. And just find that little sweet spot where you're top dead center. And then just, there should be, whoops, sorry. Like that should have just a little bit of grip to it. All right. You'll make very, very small adjustments. These are just lock nuts, you know, so this is like, you know, if you're a homeowner, once a year. If you're a commercial guy, twice a year. The easiest way to tell is if it's hard to pull. So let me rotate this over. All right, I'm going clockwise. There's the exhaust valve going down. All right, and then the intake going down. But on the power stroke back up, see if I can get this, there is a, you know what? This is actually better. I can show you. So if you look on this nylon cam gear, oh gosh, where'd it go? There's that little nub right there. I'll take you in a little tighter. So that little nub right there is spring loaded. So when it comes over at low RPM, it's going to crack open the exhaust valve and bleed off just a little bit of compression as this rolls by. Now, once this thing comes up to idle, the spring is wound in such a way where the centrifugal force will tuck that little nub back in. The whole spring tightens up, and that gets out of the way so you don't lose compression. So if you're having a hard to pull situation, that's the best way to know when it's time to adjust your valves. One last thing I want to check before I get this all put back together. This early ignition coil that has got the clear resin that seals all the electronic components in, those were known for failure. I mean, if you got a good one, you got a good one, but there's a reason those were problematic. So I'm gonna spin this over with a drill, see if I can get you in a little tighter, and we're just gonna check for spark, make sure everything's groovy. Got a nice spark. I'm not even turning that fast. Okay, everything's all buttoned up. I took it outside, tuned it. Just wanted to look over, show you a couple of the finer points. We did all new fuel lines. Not enough light to see there. But that rubber line right there, that's your impulse line. It was all cracked and damaged. And fresh round of fuel lines and fuel filter, just to make sure it runs like a champ. And I'll take it outside and I'll show you what I'm talking about, how easy it starts when the valves are properly adjusted. Make sure it's on. But if you can't do it with 2 fingers, ignition back on. That's all we got for today. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.